Capacity planning is an important part of really running any type of data center or really any application in your environment. Cisco's UCS Performance Manager helps to automate a lot of the process associated with capacity planning. In addition, it provides a lot of functionality to be able to automatically discover and build a topology of all of the equipment and infrastructure components that make up your data center. So from a cloud perspective, when we talk about abstracting all of that stuff out, it means that we're not really looking at all the detailed level beneath it. But in order to be able to troubleshoot and to get access to, understanding what utilization I have and all these other things, leveraging something like Cisco's UCS Performance Manager is invaluable in helping to plan what types of upgrades we need to make and how well our organization is performing. So UCS Performance Manager is really that single pane of glass to give full visibility into all of the components that make up our virtual machines, our operating systems, compute, network, and storage. And it really allows you to be able to create a full infrastructure stack monitoring tool. So some of the different core features that you have, the ability to be able to have that single console for device health and performance monitoring. So again, it's all about compute, network, storage, and hosts. All of these are monitored at the same time. The ability to be able to understand utilization of the different components within the data center, within the infrastructure, all the way down to the port levels and specific blades and chassis. Full out-of-box configurations, where you've got the ability to be able to leverage a lot of things that you don't have to go in and customize yourself. So it's got tons of thresholds that are that can be used to be able to prevent over-provisioning and creating resource constraints. So it can help you to make sure that the decisions that you're making are not going to have a lot of ramifications on utilizing the infrastructure you have in place. You can also identify a lot of the challenges or issues you may be running into in the network, as well as in other infrastructure components, where you can quickly identify components that are being degraded, anything that's currently disabled, and look for bottlenecks and performance anomalies throughout. It's very scalable in a modular system, so you can expand it as you need. As you need more capacity, you can add more functionality to Performance Manager to be able to address those different devices that you have out there that you plan on adding. And of course, it's an integrated infrastructure capacity planning tool, and that's ultimately what we're talking about here, is leveraging this to be able to address any types of capacity issues you may have in your cloud environment. So let's go through and let's walk through a little bit of the capabilities of the platform itself. So this is where most things start, is on the dashboard summary view. So here you're able to see that this is a very customizable dashboard. Each one of these portlets can be moved around. They can be, changed around so that, if there's specific things you want to have right as soon as you connect up to the tool to be able to have front and center, you can configure this however you choose to. All of your critical errors and warnings and alerts are available right there, and you can see it in very easy detail. So red, orange, and yellow, and then of course the ability to be able to see all the different statistics and graphs that you currently have. It's really designed for that at-a-glance system performance status. Now, as we start to drill down into it, one of the cool features about UCS Performance Manager is this ability to be able to automatically build out a topology. So the bane of existence for network administrators, many moons ago used to be having to go in and create topology maps through Visio. It was a horrible, horrible process. It took forever. This allows you to basically do it automatically. And what this does is it gives you very good visibility into all the components associated with your infrastructure. So you can look at uplink and downlink status, as you're seeing there on the left, and you can see immediately if there's any types of events. So here I'm going to click on one of the events on that UCS chassis, and I can see that I've got a number of things that maybe I need to look at. It's showing me that I've got some notifications that are telling me that one of the cards are missing, or I've got a local disk missing in a particular chassis, or I have something disabled. The point of this is it gives you a very quick view of that chassis, and you can see all the current events on it. In addition, you can also get Ethernet port utilization graphs. So here I can just click that link between the cloud and our interconnect, the fabric interconnect, and that'll show me the utilization of that particular connection. So in this situation, if I'm overutilizing a particular piece of equipment, I'd be able to see that very easily here. So it's super simple to be able to get that information, literally with one click. In addition, I also have up in the upper left-hand side, I can reveal all the current events in the domain. So I can see that I have 12, events I need to pay attention to right now. I've got 68 that are informational, and then I've got 68 that are indicative of something I need to probably pay attention to, and then I've got a number that are just informational. So again, the idea behind this is it's very easy to be able to get this information with a quick glance. So as I'm looking at being able to, get information, more details on the events themselves, here we've got the ability also to be able to, pull reports on these events. So I can select, I can sort, I can filter, and I can export all these different events to other systems if I choose to. So here I can click the export button, and I can export it in XML or comma delimited format. So here I'm going to export it in comma delimited format, and then I can use something like Excel to be able to search on specific categories I'm looking for, or anything I want to use that information for. I'd have it available in this particular tool. So some other infrastructure detail. So UCS network storage and apps, I've got all that visible here under the infrastructure tab. So that's showing me all of the core components that I've got as part of my data center, allowing me to be able to drill down into each system, in detail. So here I'm going to click on one of the application groups that I have configured, and that's going to show me the actual device itself. So this is the details on that particular device. So here I'm logging into a particular, system. I've got the information on the credentials there, as well as the state of the particular device, any information that's available from a hardware perspective. So I can see this is a UCS platform, et cetera, et cetera. All of this is, again, very easy to be able to get access to. I can do per component bandwidth usage. So here I'm actually looking at a very specific, part of the chassis. So I can look at any one of these individual components and find out what type of utilization it currently has. And that will, again, help me in better utilizing how much, capacity I currently have, and to balance across all of those different components. Those component-specific event logs. So in this case, we're looking at, that particular device, the Ethernet interface is going up and down, all the different components that I may need to be able to look after to ensure that the system is operating as it should is available, right here from this particular view. Utilization details, again, showing me more information about how those different components are operating and helping me to find out if there's any anomalies. So what does that spike mean? It might mean something where I had an outage or I had a challenge I have to deal with, or it could just be, a blip on the screen. But the bottom line is you've got that information at your fingertips. You can also adjust the graph time. So here I have the ability to be able to set the range. So I can go hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. What's this good for? It's for trending. It allows me to be able to determine what is happening in a particular period of time. And that's great for being able to determine what types of things I may need to upgrade, or the performance as a whole of my system. These are some of the different reports that are available in the system. There's tons and tons of reports here. As you can see on the left, you can very easily search for some of these different reports, but as you can see, there's a lot of things already built in right there. So bandwidth utilization, port pool utilization, utilization versus capacity. So you can do some trending to determine the capacity of each one of the UCS platforms within your data center. So here's showing you the table format associated with, being able to pull some information out of there. So I'm going to do a report on interface utilization here. So this is what would come back from that. So you can see based on the speed, what the input and output was, and what the total utilization for that particular interface was. And of course, I can export that as well into CSV, so I can then do further analysis on it with Excel. So this is showing you the graph formats. This would give you the ability to be able to do a very simple graph and update this graph and send that information out, to other individuals in your group, or to be able to, again, look at this information and figure out trending and what types of capacity issues you may be running into.